discussion. But I have one more thing that's very interesting. As you were talking, it kind of hit me, and I'll share it. So you've heard the term gamification, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it is big these days. It's basically anything that you are doing work-wise. If you turn it into some kind of a game, then people end up enjoying the work more. And this is heavily used for corporate training and things like that. But it's all about associating points with whatever you're doing and then turn it. However, I suddenly thought a gamification concept in this way of structuring your campaigns. So there is, as men, we identify with all those macho manly things, and going to war and battle and weapons, that's something. So that, since I'm a man, I'm always thinking that way. But really, there are many books written about this. Business is war. So when you go to business, you're fighting. So, and the goal is to kill the competition and capture the income, right? So that's the idea, and it's always somebody else you have to fight for to do this. So it is a battle, constant battle. So if you think about this, when you go into battle, when you start to prepare, first you gather intelligence, and then you send out what they call scouts to figure out if what you gathered is actually up to date, correct, or whatever, if there's any validity to it. And then you have these special forces that go operate in the dark, and then you have the final armies going. So when you separate, by purpose, you are in fact able to now, you know where I'm going with this. So you have these scouts. So let's say that, for example, if you did this and you have a research campaign, you know how much research is costing you, because it's going to have terrible ACOS. And then you have those exact searches. Those are the snipers. They shoot to kill. And you know what that's getting you. And so as you were talking, this is like a great thing for a business to have. Okay, I'm spending so much in researching, and then you can measure the performance of that research, the outcome. Okay, how many new keywords have we added? Where did they come from? They've come from research campaign. And then you have those exact matches. How is that doing? How about the broad match? So each one you are able to then budget, not in terms of return, but in terms of cash. How much cash is this going to take? And let's go easy on the research this month. Let's step up the exact so that we can get better. So things like that. So I thought that, this dividing by purpose would really turn your entire military into these special teams, each one with different amount of budget, different types of purposes. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about it from a military context, but the way you explain it, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I haven't really, for someone who is kind of analytical, I never really analyzed why it is the way it is. It was just born out of necessity. Like I've had enough situations where basically I have to fix it. And, I thought to myself, okay, well, how am I going to fix it? I've got to isolate. I've got to give everything a purpose. And then if anything doesn't perform its purpose, I need to figure out why that is and then immediately change it. And so, yeah, your military example makes perfect sense, because it's definitely the way that you do it. And to further elaborate on that, the search query performance would be the intelligence gathering then, wouldn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Exactly.